Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About House. I'm Todd.
I'm Oana.
Okay, so we're going to do an update to the Las Vegas real estate market. We just got brand new data for what's going on in Vegas. This is the time of year when the spring buying season starts to peak usually. It looks like it's starting that process. We'll go through some of the numbers specifically. We'll start with the market action index. It's 44. Oana, what does the number mean? Like, what is it literally like a combination of?
Right, so it still means it's a seller's advantage. It keeps in mind things like days on the market, price per square foot. It keeps in mind the availability of homes as far as what's available per price point. It just kind of keeps in mind a whole bunch of metrics, and it comes up with this magic number. It's kind of like your magic 8-ball number.
Yeah. So the idea is that it looks at everything and then assigns values to them based on whether it's better for buyers or sellers. It puts a number in there. It was 42 a month ago. It was in the 30s, low 30s for most of the fall.
It was. And even at that, it was still a slight seller's advantage. Now it's just more of a seller's advantage.
Yeah, still says slight sellers on the thing. But anyway, let's go look at the real-time market profile. Now remember, these are weekly numbers. They tend to be a little volatile. Median list price is $549, basically what it was last week. The median price of new listings, as you see, changes every week. It looks dramatic, but it's not, because that's a really small, that's a really tight window. So if it goes up a little or down a little, it has a big increase there. The interesting one is price per square foot. It went up $3 a square foot in 1 week. So now it's down $1 a square foot. We know, though, that it's likely over the next month to keep going up, because the median prices have been going up for the last 3 months. So if median prices are going up, median list prices, then the sale prices 40 to 60 days are going to be up too, right?
Right. So, I mean, keep in mind, we're kind of at the peak of the spring buying season. So we're going to see a little bit of up and down before we start seeing the natural down of the summer and fall.
Yeah, it goes every fall. Two things happen: summer and fall. Inventory increases, which is totally normal, and then we'll show you. We have a chart for that. And then the price per square foot drops because home prices tend to soften in the fall because there's less buyers, there's more homes on the market. So and it happens every year. We'll show you the chart. Another interesting thing on this is inventory. If you look at that, now we'll know more in a week or two, but it looks like inventory may have stopped going down. We certainly have less inventory than a normal market. We would normally have 3,000 plus listings in Vegas at this time of year. Specifically, we have 2,500, so we have, that's like 16% less, let's call it. So anyway, we'll go to the first chart, median list price. Now remember, this dashed line is the leading indicator because it's a 7-day average, and the blue line is a 90-day average. It still shows that more homes come on the market, they'll be higher priced than the homes that were on the market 90 days ago, and this shows sort of a trend. What's interesting on this is that it's kind of a mixed bag. Only in 2021 was the median list price 7-day average more, if you look at 2021, which meant it was still going to prices were still going to keep going up. In 2020, it was actually a little less, and then it was about the same in 2019. It's still significantly more. Remember, there's a lot of volatility, right, Oana? What are some things that are causing volatility?
Oh, our favorite thing lately, interest rates, right?
Okay,
interest rates are causing volatility. All the different talk in the market about unemployment, even though the employment numbers were good, about consumer price index, about inflation in general, and then of course we have our all-time favorite, the debt ceiling. That's making people crazy too. So lots of things out there that are making people feel uncertain at best, or giving them lots of nightmares at worst. So all of that is causing volatility in the housing market and in all other markets, as far as I can tell.
Yeah. Okay. Price per square foot. Now this is the sold price. This is the actual sold price. Now the price per square foot is still more. The 7-day average is more than the 9-day average. You can see this doesn't tend to get very far away because prices don't really change that fast. You can see the meteoric rise it had starting in 2019, where it just started going up and going up and going up. And it's adjusted, like we said. In order for us to have a 40 or 50% crash, like all the crash bros predicted, it would have to be not on this chart. It would have to go below like $150 a foot. That's a 40 or 50% decrease. So you can see it doesn't look like it's going to happen. It's certainly going to fall in the fall. There's no question. Might be a good time to pick up a rental property or two or buy a house. We're going to do a whole nother video because we have some data evidence that maybe interest rates are completely done going up. They might start falling. Mortgage rates. We'll see. Okay, so that's price per square foot. Okay, median days on the market. Now the 7-day average is still a lot less than the 90 average. This little kind of went sideways. You can see if you look throughout this chart, there are many times where it basically stopped, went up, stopped, went up. I think that's just because the problem with median days on the market is if a house comes on the market fast and sells and comes off the market, all the proof that homes are selling fast sort of, or they get canceled out by a home that's been on the market longer. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of a goofy metric, median days on the market. We put it here because it's, the median days on the market have been higher because of lower numbers of sales. Mm-hmm. So you still have people trying to sell, they're sticking to their price. So median days on market. But if you look at the 7-day average, we're back. It's a normal market. It's what it was in 2019. Right. So people who freak out about days on the market. And then the other thing is it looks like it will for sure decline because eventually this 90-day average will have to catch up to that 7-day average. You can see throughout the chart it does it the whole way. Mm-hmm. Okay. Here's the big one, inventory. Like I said, we're going to know more in every week because we do these videos. They tend to come out Monday because Sunday night is when we get the data. It's when the data is refreshed in the Altos Research, mm-hmm. which is the site we use. Oana inventory maybe is done going down. Look at this chart. It's been doing it for months and months.
Right. So that is very possible. And I said that a couple minutes ago that we're just kind of finishing up, I think, the spring buying season. So inventory will probably increase. Now, is it going to increase week over week for the next couple of weeks? Maybe, maybe not. But certainly by the time we go into June, it will absolutely increase.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll increase. It'll look a lot like it does here. If you go back to the chart and look at 2019 and look at that at the fall, mm-hmm. there, you could see that inventory was up above almost 6,000 houses, between 5 and 6,000. It almost did that this year. At the 90-day average, it got to about 5,300.
But this is a good thing, you guys. So just because inventory is going up, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. It gives people choices. Mm-hmm. So from the buyer's perspective, it's a good thing. It gives choice. It gives buyers some leverage. As far as the sellers are concerned, obviously not so hot if you're a seller. But on the other hand, if you have a good product and it's priced at market value, it will sell because when you compare it to other product out there, to other houses out there, if it's a good product and it's well priced, it'll sell.
We made a prediction. We made 2 predictions last year. We got a lot of criticism for them. One of them was that home prices would adjust, not crash, which of course they did. The second thing is that the 4 best months that I predicted to buy a house would be October, November, December, January, because you would have the highest level of inventory. I think this fall, now remember, last fall, look at this inventory chart. Last fall, interest rates were over 7%, and we still didn't get back to the inventory level that we had in 2019, basically kind of met it. If interest rates drop substantially this fall, could look much differently, because what's going to happen is want to tell them what's going to happen if more homes come on the market so they have more choices and interest rates. Let's say interest rates go below the average 30-year mortgage goes below 6, goes to 5 something.
Well, I think inventory is going to disappear because people are going to get off the fence and they're going to go out and purchase homes because they're going to see that interest rates are down and the house that they've wanted is within reach. So they'll go ahead and get the house that they've wanted, which is a good thing for everybody. It's a good thing for buyers because you're getting the house that you want. It's a good thing for sellers because you're selling the house that you want to sell. So it's good all the way around. Look, interest rates are going to have to come down. They're going to have to come down for a lot of reasons, if for no other reason than because if they don't come down, that will further damage small banks. And I don't think the Fed wants to do that. So I think that's going to be one of the things that will weigh heavily on the Fed's mind as they consider further interest rate hikes. The other thing is, the Fed has already signaled that they're going to just kind of coast for a little while and see how things go with the economy, and then reevaluate whether or not they're going to raise interest rates. I think that's sending a signal to the to banks that are putting out mortgages, saying, "Hey, interest rates are probably going to come down." So I think that there will be this anticipatory rate reductions in mortgage interest rates that are going to happen even before the Fed does anything.
Anytime somebody calls us to sell a house, we always ask them one question. Do you have to sell? Have you considered renting? And a lot of times they're shocked. They never considered it. They maybe don't want to be a landlord. But we always talk to them about that because there's a chance, and we have talked to a lot of people who have said, you know what? I would like to sell if I could get X. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they can't get X.
Right.
So they just put it out into the rental pool.
Mm-hmm. Which is good because that just provides another house for someone else to rent. And hopefully it's a nice house where somebody wants to live, and that's good for them. And it's good for the landlord because they get some cash flow and they continue to have their property appreciate.
Now, rents, we know that the number of rentals in Las Vegas increased substantially last year because Vegas was the only market where rents dropped year over year. 400 markets, Vegas was the only one. Of 399 markets, they stayed the same or went up. Vegas, they went down less than 1%. Mm-hmm. Basically, they're the same. Statistically, okay, they're the same. But, we might see softening rents, but let's say rents go down 3%, which would probably be pretty substantial. So your $2,000 month rent payment would probably be like $1,950, mm-hmm. maybe, if the landlord just didn't say, forget it, I just want $2,000, like I'm not going to drop my rent. So rent prices are really sticky, probably more so sticky than sale prices. Why is that, Oana?
So rent prices are sticky because tenants are unlikely to move over a few dollars. So that makes it unlikely that a landlord will lower rents. Look, traditionally we have seldom left rents the same. We have almost always raised rents, even if we raise rents a nominal amount. So we might only raise the rent maybe $50 a month, but there was still a rent increase. And we do that for a couple of reasons. One is because we want to make sure that we're keeping up with whatever rents are doing in the area. But even if rents in the area are declining, we'll still do a nominal increase so that the tenant understands that we do have rent increases every year. And then if the following year rents go up a drastic amount, now we don't have to raise rent as much to catch up with the market. So if you will, I do this thing more like dollar cost averaging, right, for rents, to help the tenant kind of keep it in their budget, and at the same time for the landlord to make sure that over the long run that they don't end up with a property that is severely under market value and then having to in effect raise the rent an inordinate amount in order to catch up to market value, and then that tenant can't afford that.
Right. There's potentially a rent control measure going through the state Senate right now that might see the light of day. It might not. It doesn't take effect for over a year, and it has some caveats to it. But at this point, it is to the point where it's so ridiculous, it's likely the governor won't agree to it, because the Senate can do whatever they want, but our governor is probably not going to. He'll probably veto it, and it won't. There's not enough. I mean, I don't know if it'll get through the legislature. It's a Senate bill right now. And it's controversial because it literally would be one of the strictest rent controls in the nation, mm-hmm. in Nevada. And we're not usually that kind of state. We're a state that just lets market forces work. Mm-hmm. I do want to talk about one last thing before we end the video. And that is, first of all, I've coined a new phrase. I actually filed a trademark for it. So anytime you say it or even hear it, I get $5. Okay. It just shows up my bank account. I don't know how that works, but the money's already, I can already see the $5 deposits going in. So already, you guys know the Crash Bros.
Yes.
So the Crash Bros are the guys who make the YouTube videos, super negative, and they talk about the housing market crash, and they make like $30,000 a month in revenue from YouTube. Okay. The next group, they're the people who come on the channel and they don't own a house, and they probably would like to buy a house, but they need them to fall like pennies on the dollar is what I hear all the time. They're the housing haters. Okay, they're the housing haters. The housing haters and the Crash Bros have so I've heard this new theory that the unemployment in Las Vegas is the highest in the nation. And I need to point out why, because it is. But there's a reason for it. And when I tell you the reason, you're going to be like, oh my God, this makes total sense. Las Vegas is okay, ready for this, guys? It's the easiest place to find a job, but we have the highest unemployment rate. And now the average person doesn't understand that, right? Okay, national unemployment just came out. It dropped to the lowest level since 1969, right? 3.4% is okay, but it's 5.5 in Vegas, which is really high. Now remember, do you remember what unemployment was in like May during the pandemic? Because we closed everything off the end of March and we didn't open the casinos till June. So in May, every casino employee was furloughed, was like let go.
It was crazy. It was like 60% or some ridiculous amount.
63%. We was 63%. So what happened was for 2 years we led the nation in job growth because we went from 63% unemployment to 5.5% unemployment. Okay, but this is why the two industries in the nation with the highest aggregate unemployment because of seasonability are construction. That's one. And then hospitality and leisure, which literally describes Las Vegas and also Reno. Well, construction too. We have one of the top 2 or 3 construction in the nation because we have so much building going on. And this is all construction, right? And there's seasonability in that. So here's the thing. Construction on average has 13% unemployment nationally. 13%. 13% of construction workers at any given time are unemployed. In Vegas, it's 8%. So we're beating the national average, but that 8% is such a big percentage in Vegas, it makes it look worse. Then the other one is the hospitality and leisure. Hospitality and leisure tend to have about 8% unemployment, 8.6, I think, right, and nationally. But we have like 6.5% unemployment. Now, what that means is that the rest of the city has less. We're doing better than the national average for unemployment. So there's jobs to be had. If you are moving to Vegas, you're going to be able to find a job. It's not hard to find a job here. But because of those industries tend to have turnover, where they move, things close or open or whatever, hotels get rid of people or a hotel adds people. Do you have a period where people don't work and instead of going back to work, they collect unemployment? So they're gaming the system. So when you see those unemployment numbers and think, because we've had a bunch of people come on the channel and say 5.5%, it's really terrible. What are some things happening in Vegas? Do you remember the video we did? How many events per year, major events per year we have in Vegas?
So we have over 600 major events per year in Vegas.
That's over one a day.
Right. And then we have lots of new construction that are big projects, right? We have the Sphere, we have the Las Vegas Grand Prix. We have a couple of new hotels going up. We have some high rises and mid rises going up. We have all kinds of construction going up. So there are a lot of things going on. And it's funny because you were talking about construction, and the Station Casinos it has put up a new casino. It's called the Durango. It's off the 215 Beltway on the south side of town. And we were chatting with a home builder, and he was saying that casino went up faster than he can put up a single family home.
That thing, I swear, I drove by it to go to the airport to go on a business trip for a couple of days. When I came back, there was a casino there, and I was like, I don't remember driving by that thing. Like that thing went up super fast.
Yeah.
I hope they build it. They got inspections on it.
I'm sure they did.
That must set a record. That thing is going to be done. It'll be super nice. Funny story. That was supposed to go up in like 2004 or 5. okay? A person that worked at the Suncoast, I helped her buy a house literally behind. Like you literally she could have walked there because she said, we just found out that we got approval. We're going to build a casino and because I'm so senior, I can transfer to it, but I want to buy a house right there. So she went and bought a brand new home. They were building brand new homes literally across the street. And then of course the housing collapse and great financial crisis, and they never built it.
Right.
So I need to reach out to her and find out if she still works at the place she worked. I haven't talked to her probably in maybe 5 or 6 years. And I thought that was pretty funny. So, there's a ton of stuff going on. And like Oana was saying, a building event, or not a building event, and a major event, a football game. So like the Pac-12 championship is in Las Vegas. They hold the West Coast Conference basketball championship is here. They have NCAA tournament game. That'll count as one. A major convention, they will count. They don't count minor things, right? They're pretty big. A Taylor Swift concert that we just had, Lady Gaga, they'll count that. Grand Prix event.
Right.
Golden Knights home game.
The Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl next year. This brings the stuff on the horizon. I've been in Vegas now since the mid-'70s. Grew up here, went to school, all the schools here and everything. Have seen the town grow. The stuff we have planned, it's like somebody pulled out all the stops and said, come on, everybody. We got the Oakland A's are going to be the Las Vegas A's, or maybe they'll change their name. We're getting an NBA team. That's almost for sure now. I think we're like finalists or something for that. We might get a Major League Soccer team. They've already picked out the land for where they're going to build the baseball stadium. I mean, this place is going to go nuts. They're going to be doing, like, the All-Star games are going to be here. Everything's going to be here. Vegas, is sort of turning into boomtown. We're not running out of water. The lake's been going up. It went up like 5 feet last week or something, right? That was like super good.
Well, it's not just that the measures that we're continuing to put in place are designed to help us make the most out of our water and to limit our water use. So this is still going to continue. The fact that we use water better than almost anybody on the planet as far as being able to recycle it. The Las Vegas Water District has managed to, I don't even know what the right word is.
Jack up prices.
Oh, that's way too polite.
Yeah.
So people are looking at literally $1,000 water bills this summer.
Yeah.
So, almost everywhere you drive in Vegas now, you're seeing dead lawns. And it's not because those homes are foreclosed. It's because those homes are getting ready to have new landscaping put in. Everybody's taking out their lawns.
Yep.
We're not going to have any public lawns that are not for recreation use by, I think, 2025. So that means that all of our nice suburban neighborhoods that have lawns in the public and common areas, those are going to be gone. We will have lawns for parks and for sporting fields and that sort of thing, but we're not going to have lawns for just decorative purposes.
They should take out some of the underperforming golf courses too. That would solve the problem.
And
I wouldn't be shocked to see some of those not be able to operate because the water is too expensive.
Well, and that's going to be a possibility. The other possibility is they may redesign them with artificial turf. That is a possibility.
Yeah, you just leave the grass on the greens and then, because people don't want to putt on a carpet maybe.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see. Look, we are very good at this. We are so good that there are people from water districts, from water companies, from all over the planet that come to Vegas to see what we're doing, how we're doing it, because we're doing it that well. And it's not that I'm just talking up our Las Vegas Water District. I'm not particularly a fan of them, but they do happen to do a very good job of it, and they are definitely cutting edge.
Yeah, we're super excited about the future of Las Vegas, and obviously, like we've told you guys before, we have rentals. We're not selling any of them. And, will prices go down in the fall? Yeah, I would be shocked if home prices were up in the fall from now. And so, I think the other interesting thing is going to be like what Oana said, what's going to happen if mortgage rates, because right now you can there's some VA loans you get for the low fives. So if you can get it, if you can get the VA rate into the 4s and the 30-year rate into the 5 for an average borrower, that means the better borrowers are going to get even better rates. So I think that some people get off the fence. Some sellers might even get off the fence and say, fine, I'll just sell and move somewhere else in rates. I think we need to unlock housing, and we're going to unlock housing by getting interest rates back down.
Right.
And then, look, our data today that we went through, to me, looks like exactly what we predicted a year ago. We had an adjustment. We still have some shock waves that are happening, but with interest rates to where we were told would crash the market and home prices have gone up 3 months in a row, did not ever happen during the great financial crisis. And I think we're back to a normal market. Prices go down a bit in the fall, and then probably year over year probably be about what they are right now.
Right. I mean, I personally believe that interest rates going down will allow sellers to see their way clearly to putting their houses on the market, and that'll increase inventory, give buyers more choices, and we're going to be up and running again and off to the races. But we'll see.
And it increases affordability.
It
makes
does.
affordability better when interest rates are lower.
Yes. So what do you think? What do you think about the stats? What do you think about the charts? What do you think about our conversation? Just what do you think in general about real estate? Leave us comments. We love your comments, and we try to respond to as many as we can. We try to acknowledge everybody. So we appreciate you being here. We appreciate you watching. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Bye.